and the Packers couldn't get anything going against a stingy Saints defense as they were held to 3 points. The reigning MVP was picked off twice and held 133 passing yards during New Orleans' 38-3 drubbing of Green Bay. It was the largest margin of defeat for a reigning MVP in a season opener. And also, no team has ever lost its opener by 35 points or more and gone on to reach the Super Bowl. Well, Rodgers didn't shy away from the big loss, saying, quote, "We played bad. I played bad." Well, at least he was honest about that. Shannon, how do you explain your guy Aaron's performance?
There's no offer without explanation. He played terrible. He admitted he played terrible. The team played terrible, Skip. I want to give Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator for the Saints, Skip. Now, you know he can dial up defense. He was the D coordinator when Tim Tebow was doing all those heroics in 2011.
He was.
So he knows what he's doing from a defensive perspective.
Aaron spoke of him after the game and said he has high respect for him.
Yes. Skip, I'd have lost a boatload of money. There's no way I saw this coming, Skip. And what's embarrassing from a Green Bay Packers defensive perspective, Skip, you see stats like this in a college game when you invite Oklahoma.
Western Carolina.
Yes. Okay, Skip, what we're going to do, this is your athletic budget, your football budget for the entire year. Come here, get your eyes beat out. Our quarterback's going to pad it.
I was embarrassed for my Sooners. They even scheduled poor Western Carolina.
Oh, the same
75-0.
Or Georgia, Alabama.
Like, you could name it. It could be 150-0.
Because, Skip, when you see someone throws the ball 20 times, they complete 14 and has 5 touchdowns, it's in one of those type of ball games. You didn't expect to see that in an NFL game.
No.
5 touchdowns, sure. But you're expecting to see someone throw the ball 35, 40, 50 times. Jameis has less than 200 yards, threw the ball 20 times and had 5 touchdowns. But, Skip, they didn't come to play. I think the thing is they looked at it, well, we're not going to be in the dome. New Orleans has been displaced for 2 weeks. Oh, we're going to waltz in there. We the reigning NFC. We went to the NFC the last 2 years, NFC Championship game. We're just going to waltz in there. They don't have Drew Brees. This is going to be a breeze. And got the brakes beat off them. You better respect everyone. You underestimate no one. And then you should be okay. But the moment those are professionals. You can't think just because you won the MVP, you went to the NFC Championship game, team's going to lay down.
Yeah.
The Saints saying, you know what, hey, I understand we lost Drew Brees, but they ain't lose nobody on the defense. They still get after you. And Jameis, Skip, if you really look at it, and we be honest, Jameis can provide something for this offense that Drew hadn't been able to provide in a very, very long time. And we saw it that last touchdown when he threw the ball over the top.
55 yards.
And I said this last year when they were playing the Bucks. I said Jameis, with his ability to throw the ball over the top, he would probably give them a better opportunity because they're just sitting on everything. They're like, you can't throw the ball over our head. Why are we playing anything other than 2 man? Let's make him put the ball in the tight windows. It's not going anywhere. This was unbelievable, Skip. I still don't believe 38-3. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, I can see, you losing a close ball game. Skip, everybody had to lose. Everybody wasn't going to win opening day. But 38-3, nobody saw this coming. Somebody lost their shirt on this one, Skip, because ain't nobody. They probably took Green Bay in the point. They took Green Bay in the cover, and Green Bay covered their heads because you know what, put foots in them.
Okay, I will give you this. Speaking also of Oklahoma and Oklahoma's first game against Tulane, Tulane was displaced. It's bouncing around Birmingham, and game was supposed to be at Tulane, and finally it winds up in Norman.
Right.
And they didn't take them very seriously. They're up 37-14 at half, and in the second half, here came Tulane, and they had to hang on for dear life, 40-35. So I'll give you, there was some of that going on. Also, I thought Sean Payton, who's got some genius about him, he does
not. Called a magnificent game.
There's not one little rock left unturned on this. He's looking under every one because he chose Jacksonville because of the heat, and he also chose it because he goes on Expedia and finds out that the toughest place for the Green Bay fans to go, because they will go. But the hardest place to get to is Jacksonville. You got to change in Atlanta, wherever you're going to change.
You probably go from Appleton to Chicago to Atlanta.
Maybe, I don't know, Atlanta. I guess so, but whatever. The point is, it was arguably the worst game of Aaron Rodgers' career. It was the worst beating he's ever taken in his career. 38-3. He was 0 of 7 on third down. That's incomprehensible to me. 0 of 7 on third down.
Yeah, that'll get you beat.
He had the single worst QBR of the entire week 1. This is the reigning MVP. A scale of 0 to 100 had a QBR of 13.5, the worst of all those kid quarterbacks, all the Max and even the Tua and Zach and Trevor Lawrence. This was the lowest.
Oh, he had that Chamberlain, huh? He had that Will Chamberlain, that 13.
He had number 13. He did. And the point was to me that they didn't show up because he didn't show up. And it was clear from the first snap of the game, he was not there. I don't know. He looked checked out to me. And the weird part about it is, even when I was watching our pregame show here on Fox, and I'm watching the interview that Aaron Andrews did with him, I'm saying, what is he doing? What's his new image? Can we just see a flash of this? I just want to show,
you know.
This is Aaron. He's got a man bun going. He's got his hair pulled back behind him. And I'm thinking, he looks like an aging, gray-bearded hippie folk singer to me. And then I look, and he's done a commercial for State Farm in which he is like an aging folk singer. I don't know if that's his new look, his new approach.
Cali does that.
But everything is peace and love.
Yep.
And I'm just going to enjoy the ride. And they wanted to replace me. And how would you feel? And it's all, oh, woe am I. And I just had to make peace with it. And then yesterday, he looked semi-retired, like he wasn't as in. Last year, he was at least driven to say, okay, watch this. I'm going to stick it to my own management by winning the MVP. And he didn't just win the MVP, he just ran away with the MVP.
He did.
Well, how do you go from running away with the MVP to that? Well, something psychologically, something emotionally was missing in the whole team. Now, he didn't have Bakhtiari, obviously his left tackle and his best friend on the team, rehabbing from his knee.
Yeah, little pup.
Yeah, but I'm even looking at this stat. When he had at least 2.5 seconds or more to throw, he was only 4-15. It wasn't like they were rocking him. It wasn't like they were all over him.
They were covering his guys.
Yeah, they were just covering. And he acted like we got surprised by their 2 shells. So it's just like a cover 2. It's 2 deep safeties. Yeah. They're just playing back. They're not trying to force anything. They're not coming after him. They're just sitting back in coverage. Well, Aaron, you've been around for a while. You can't figure that one out on the fly?
Well, the thing is, and they don't respect the running game. Normally, when someone plays cover 2, they're saying, we can stop your run with our front 7. We don't need to drop that safety down to go one-on-one with your wide receivers. So what we're going to do, we saw this in the Super Bowl. Tampa played exclusively cover 2. Y'all can't run the football.
Yep.
Cleveland played it yesterday against Kansas City. So, Skip, I used to tell TD all the time, a team playing us cover 2, TD, run their ass out of this cover 2, make them drop that safety down.
Okay, and speaking of that, if we could see the rushing yards here.
Well, it could have been many.
New Orleans ran 39 times for 171 yards.
What Green Bay had?
Green Bay had 15 for 43.
No. Well, they're going to stand
Aaron Jones, who usually does damage, was 5 for 14. If he'd been playing Dallas yesterday, he would have had 5 for 105.
No, Aaron Jones was 5 for 9.
For 9.
Kay Hill had 5 for 14.
14. Okay. So the point is, they couldn't run it.
But it's over there.
And very quickly, they couldn't even try to run it because they fell behind so fast. Yeah. And the other thing that was shocking to me was, usually Aaron is by far, again, if he's up against Jameis, he's going to out-efficiency him to death, right?
Yeah.
So in the red zone, Aaron goes 0 for 2, and in the red zone, Jameis goes 4 for 4. Well, that'll do it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then if we could see Aaron's 2 interceptions, they were take-your-breath interceptions because I don't see him do these things. If we could please see the first ones. This is the ugly one. This is like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing. Just panicky.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like he was a first-year quarterback.
Just eat this one, Aaron. Yeah. Just eat this one.
Because that was just awful.
Yeah, just eat it.
That wasn't even close, and you know the rest of that story. And then he's got one that he throws out of the end zone. And usually when he winds up in the end zone and lets it fly, I'm like, oh, he's got something here.
Skip.
And wait, the safety's got this. It's just like the safety was his primary receiver.
But even if the safety wasn't there, Skip, the corner is on top of his receiver.
He was not open.
Yeah.
It's just like a desperate, I hope he catches this kind of throw.
But when you look at when you look at it from all 22, Skip, ain't nobody open.
Nobody.
I mean, not one person is open on that route.
Okay.
You look at they got the tight end double on the basic cross. They got Adams locked up on the other side.
Okay, so it came across to me as a what the hell throw. Like, I'm the MVP. I became a sympathetic figure through the offseason. Packer Nation loves me again. I'm back in their good graces. What the hell? I'll just let this one fly.
You threw that ball 60 yards.
Okay, and it got you what? It almost got you a pick six because he almost returned it all the way for a touchdown.
Well, the other one like the guy pick six also.
I got it. That was almost two. And I remind you, he almost threw two pick sixes. The last time that he lost 38 to something, it was 38-10 at Tampa.
And what happened?
Yeah.
He went on a hot streak and ended up, where did he end up at? Championship game, so be careful.
And then what happened in the fourth quarter of the championship game, he stunk it up.
You know, this is the third time that he's lost week one. The three other time he won the division.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not hard to do. And even when I consider this year's division, after what I saw of the Bears, the Lions at least showed some fight and fought back. And Kirk Cousins lost to Cincinnati. You like that? So it's like it's a cakewalk division. It's hard. Maybe that's what Aaron's thinking. We'll just cakewalk.
Nah, it ain't gonna cakewalk division.
Because his whole point after the game was, it's 1 of 17.
It's one game, Skip. Yeah, he said we got 16 more.
He's going to go home and have 5 fingers of tequila or whatever he has. I don't know, whatever his drink of choice is, and sleep it off, and he'll be ready to go tomorrow. Right?
Skip, look, ain't no way around it. You have 133 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
They're 1 of 10 on third down.
No, well, he was 0 of 7.
Yeah. You're not.
Because the kid came in and mopped up, and actually, I thought Jordan Love looked better than Aaron, but it's not hard to look better than Aaron when he's playing
when you're playing that bad, Skip. So for me, look, there's enough. Look, Aaron has to play well. It's predicated on them. It's getting a lead.